Hi, in this video I will talk about the study published in 2006, the significant correlation between ward temperature and the severity of symptoms in schizophrenia in patients. So obviously it should be in inpatients because it says ward temperature, so if they live outside then they cannot measure it. So I found this study interesting. I'm not sure if it is the first one. Preliminary data suggests that schizophrenia outpatients' mental status might be affected at least some extent by environmental temperature. To further substantiate the potential role of environmental temperature in schizophrenic symptoms, and they say saying schizophrenic is sort of not good, but it is published in 2006. We examined in a naturalistic design the relationship between environmental temperature of schizophrenia in patients and their mental status. So this is interesting because it's like a really like a laboratory conditions and they live there. Mean daily temperature. I'm curious about the methods used in this study, and it really matters. Mean daily temperature of a closed psychiatric ward was monitored for 32 consecutive weeks. 32 consecutive weeks, okay. Not less is less than a year. Temperature assessments were performed, and it sounds like a so long time. Once you say like 32 consecutive weeks is it's like not like 8 months. Temperature assessments were, but I think it's enough. Temperature assessments were performed at 3 different locations within the ward at the same hour daily. Mean daily temperature was defined as the average of 3 values. During each of the 32 weeks, inpatients were divided into 2 subgroups: schizophrenia patients and non-schizophrenia psychotic patients. So and the mental status of all participants was evaluated weekly using the positive negative syndrome scale. All participants were treated with antipsychotics during the entire study. And schizophrenia patients' total PANSS score as well as each of the subscales were positively and significantly correlated with ward temperature. No correlation was found between ward temperature and any of the PANSS subscales in the non-schizophrenia psychotic subjects. So, but it's not good to say this, but it's okay, I think it's correct. But it gives the wrong impression anyway, but it's okay. Our results suggest that schizophrenia in patients' mental status might be modulated at least some extent by environmental temperature, and that this phenomenon is specific to schizophrenia patients. Our findings imply the need for optimally adjusting ward temperature about 19 degrees. It's not the ideal temperature, I guess, but I don't know, for the management of patients with acute psychotic exacerbation of schizophrenia, but it might be useful for them. And I think this is the lowest temperature they can set, because if you make it like 18, they will complain about it. And there are limitations, like, once you say that you cannot change your ward temperature, then, but maybe they were allowed. So okay, let's skip to the methods section. So it says they didn't ask for permission. It's not true. The need for a written informed consent wasn't required from participants due to the naturalistic design of the study, the exclusive use of routine medical procedures. So it's like it says it is routine, but at the end you report it. So you still need to ask for permission at least. And differences in the duration of hospitalization between the study groups were analyzed by two-tailed students t-test. Pearson's t-test was used for correlation analysis. Results are expressed as mean and standard deviation. So before this we can and we should be able to see how non-schizophrenic psychotic patients change the temperature in their rooms. So I'm statistical analysis. All participants were divided into the predefined subgroups. Each week, schizophrenia patients and non-schizophrenia psychotic patients and average hospitalization periods for both groups were similar. No correlation was found between relative humidity and any of the Palm subscales in both groups. So they also measured the relative humidity. This study corroborates former anecdotal findings that suggested the contribution of a specific climatic factor to psychotic exacerbation of schizophrenia patients. So they say anecdotal findings, but so there are 3 studies, and is this really anecdotal findings, or maybe it's not anecdotal at all? I don't know. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I find this interesting. You can find and read this study as well. Hope to see you in the next video.